Humanity's final battle was huge. Hundreds of ships, thousands of fighters pitted against fleets of an enemy that outnumbered them 4 to 1. The carnage was instant. Tight beams of incandescent light tore through vessels, molecule for molecule, leaving glowing husks to drift aimlessly into friend and enemy alike. Okay, I'll just calculate how much that would cost to render in CGI for a movie. $55 million. Humanity's final battle took place in a concrete corridor between two casually dressed characters wielding broom handles. There. That stands a much better chance of being made into a film.
10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
So young adult as a category hasn't actually been around for very long. It has been around forever, of course, but as a category of its own, it's actually pretty recent. Even after it hit its stride, it didn't really become super popular until J.K. Rowling came along with Harry Potter. Seriously, this video probably wouldn't even exist without Harry Potter. It was such a huge property that Warner Brothers decided they were going to make a film out of every single one of those books. They were a wild success, and since then there's been a generally accepted quest going on to find the next Harry Potter. Well, they found the next Harry Potter, that was Twilight. And then they found the next Harry Potter, and that was The Hunger Games. Pretty soon, Divergent is going to try and be the next Harry Potter? So young adult movies have always really existed as films just on their own, written directly to be films. But ever since Harry Potter, there has been such an explosion in movie studios trying to find books for their source material. A popular YA book will equal a popular YA movie, so goes the train of thought. So since Harry Potter, we have had Twilight, The Hunger Games, Coraline, Hugo, Bridge to Terabithia, Mortal Instruments, Percy Jackson, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, Spiderwick Chronicles, The Book Thief, The Fault in Our Stars, The Golden Compass, Eragon, and just so many more that I can't remember. My intro was a little joke, but it does pose an interesting question that I don't have an answer to. If you're a YA writer, are you shooting yourself in the foot if your manuscript isn't easily adaptable to film? Does it pay to write for the big screen rather than for those areas that the big screen doesn't really cater to? I have to admit here, when I'm plotting scenes or arcs or just trying to figure out what I'm doing, I will often sit and imagine the book playing out like it is on a movie screen. Last week I did a video about how music from films can help your writing process. Movies are everywhere. They're ubiquitous. Is that the ultimate goal? I was recently listening to an interview with Orson Scott Card about Ender's Game and the trouble that they had trying to adapt that to a film. The main problem they had was that most of that book takes place inside the main character's head, and movies just can't deal with that. The book was published in 1985 and it was only released to film last year. They spent that long trying to figure out how they were going to get around that little problem. So is it in a writer's interest to keep their book more Hollywood and more action-oriented? Not everyone's books are going to find the level of popularity that Ender's Game did, and not many places are going to sit around and wait 20 years to try and figure out how to adapt that book if there's something else more easily available. So what do you think, guys? Should we be writing source material for movies?